Boom! This is Synthesizer V from Dreamtonics. And what this is a vocal synthesizer. So you can enter whatever note you want, you know, and enter whatever words, enter any lyrics that you want, and it will play back actual vocals, just like this.
All I wanted was to be with you.
Isn't that awesome?
But you had to go and do me this way.
Maybe we'll bring in some music. What do you say?
Oh, baby, why did you leave me alone?
We can even do things like that where it says alone. We broke it down into different syllables. Alone, right? And then up here, let's just keep going here. Make sure I bring this in.
Baby, why did you leave?
So we have that leave, right? And I'm going to show you how to do this. So it's pretty cool that you can just, again, whatever MIDI notes you want. Maybe I want to change this here.
All I wanted.
Maybe I want to bring this all up there for some reason.
All I wanted.
Right, I can do that if I want. Maybe I want to turn all of this into a male vocal. Now, I only have 2 of the different vocal libraries that are available. Now they have, listen, they have tons, but I only have 2 right now. So maybe I want to switch this over to a male vocal. Try that.
All I wanted was...
Okay, and then I'm just gonna grab this stuff here. Let's modify it and shift it down by, let's just say, an octave. Click that button to center me. Right there. And then we have...
All I wanted was to be with you.
Then we have a male
you
vocal.
Had to go and do me this way.
Isn't that awesome? But it's not just singing, it's also rap. So let me switch over to this other session that I have open. That's a cool thing I love about Studio One, by the way. You can have multiple sessions open and just switch between them really quick. Now, as I mentioned, I only have 2 of the vocal packs, and the Hayden pack has a little bit of a Japanese accent to it. I mean, this is a Japanese company, so that's sort of to be expected, but I just want you to understand that when it comes to this rap here. Are you ready?
Yo, I got that flow.
Stay
I've kind of a harmony in here, so you could have multiple tracks too.
here with me.
Yo, gotta check the flow. Got game all day. What do you ever know? Back off. GM every swatch. Yeah, ninja step off for goodbyes.
Okay, now I do have him pitched a bit, just to give him sort of that sound that, you know, that sort of popular sound of really pitching things down. But we can change this stuff however you want. So maybe I'll come down here and right now I have him pitched a little bit on the gender, so I plus that gender up to make him lower. So I pull that back down to his normal voice.
I got that flow.
Here with me.
Yo, gotta check the flow. Got game all day. What do you ever know? Back off. GM every swatch. Yeah, ninja step.
Of course, again, like I said, you can adjust this stuff however you want. So let's hop into it. Now, right now I'm using this as a plugin, but you can also use it in standalone. So let's open up the standalone version here. Why not? Let's check that out, get that out of the way. So again, plugin or standalone. It's also ARA compatible. So for example, here in Studio One effects, and we have right here the ARA plugin version. Okay, so a lot of options here with this plugin. But right here, let me just show you how you would go about getting your notes in there. So you have several different ways. One is to just click. So let me just make sure I have my correct tool here. I can just click in there. I can click here. I can click here. I can move these around however I want. So we'll just say something simple like that, and I'll play it back. So right now we're just hearing tones because we don't have a voice selected. So again, I can set a voice here to maybe a male voice.
La, 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 la.
And it just starts with la, 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 right? So this is a great way to sketch out your vocals or sketch out a song, maybe before you send it to a vocalist. Again, you could use this for, an actual song, but it's also amazing for sketching out songs, sketching out ideas. So in order to enter your words, you could just double click here. I can hit tab to go to the next one. So instead of coming in here and double clicking and say want, and then coming here and double clicking, I can just hit tab, want, to, and then we'll do something silly, poop. Okay, so just to show you that this is indeed a synthesizer and not an actual voice track that I'm trying to trick you with, right?
I want to poop.
So it will say anything that you want. Now, we also, let's change this here. I want to go, we'll just go, I want to go. So what are some other ways that we could enter our MIDI in here? Well, another way is to pull MIDI in to the Synthesizer V here. So right here, I have a MIDI file. I can just drag that right in. I'll say create new tracks. That's fine right there. Okay, so it drug in this MIDI file. Assign a voice to it. We'll go with Hayden, I guess.
La, la, la.
Actually, I think we should go with Natalie on this one here.
La 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 la.
So for the seal, we can seal those two together. Right? If you have notes that aren't next to each other, then it's like, it's like when you're singing, all your words connect. So if they're not connected, it'll be like separate words. All right, so we just make sure those are connected.
La 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 la.
We can even use this with Lemonade, which is something that I showed in a previous video. So let me open this up. And Lemonade is a MIDI generator, okay? Again, whether you have MIDI already on your hard drive or you want to generate MIDI, whatever you want to do, essentially what you want is, a monophonic MIDI. And by that, I mean just one note at a time. So we'll say melody, C minor, doesn't really matter. We'll choose get seeds here, and we'll just generate some new something. Too fast. Nope. Okay, so say you like that. I'll just add it to my library and head over here. There it is. Of course, make sure I have my MIDI selected. Grab the MIDI, drag it right out here. I'll just delete all those, grab our new MIDI, throw it in here, create a new track. That is fine for what we want. I'll just assign it a voice real quick there. And then,
La 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 la.
right? So again, if you have any kind of a monophonic MIDI file, you can just throw it right in here. And then you can come in here and again, I can double click and start putting in our lyrics. I love to, well, these are really short words here. To be with you, or just something like that. I misspelled to here. I'll show you some tricks on setting this up for your different words here in a minute.
I love to be with you, la la.
So in that case, of course, I'd have to start pulling this stuff out. All right, so how about this here?
I love to be with you.
Just that quick. So another way that we could input our MIDI notes is to use our keyboard, right? So we could just, maybe like that, just hit record. Whatever it happens to be. And then you could, of course, assign a voice to that.
La 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 la.
Right, and then go in there and again, start typing in your lyrics, okay? And this is a great way to do it. If you don't quite know what you want, just delete all that. So if we have maybe a beat, a song, something like that. Okay, and maybe I don't exactly know what I want, but I'm kind of scatting through it. Da 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 da. Okay, so I can hit record. I can. So then just press record here, and do 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 da 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 da. Right. Okay, and then you have your, just press this button here to center me around that. Then you have those notes in here.
La 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 la.
Right now it's just laws, of course.
La, 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 la.
Then go in there and again, enter all of your different lyrics. All right, so back here with the standalone version, let me show you something else here. Let me throw in just a MIDI file. And we have that there. Let me just assign a voice to it real quick.
La, 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 la.
Probably should be Natalie there.
La la.
Okay, so another way that we could enter our lyrics instead of double clicking and then using tab, whatever, is I could select a note, go to modify and go to insert lyrics. Now I could start typing in, just this lyric for just that note, or I could I want to go to the moon, right? Then I can do a pattern fill and choose OK. And then that fills in I want to go to the moon right there.
I want to go.
Seal that off there and make it longer. Very good.
I want to go to the moon. La, la, la.
Right, so that's another way that you could use this and enter your lyrics. Now let me show you a few ways that you can sort of modify or accent the different, delete all that there, your different words or notes here. So let's just do this here. I'll just put in a note here, maybe like that. Now it's just a la. Let's do a word like revolution. Okay, so you might not sing revolution, you might sing revolution or something like that, right? So how would we do that? Well, we'll just type in revolution. Doesn't matter if I spelled it wrong, which I did. Revolution. Okay, so now we have revolution in here, and right now it's
Revolution.
Let me change this over to Hayden because this is lower.
Revolution.
Maybe move it up here.
Revolution.
Okay, so how would I break that up to revolution? Well, in that case, what I could do, let me shorten this note here, and maybe we'll have him come up here, and then we'll have him come up here. Now, revolution is revolution. That's 4 syllables. If you don't know how to get your syllables, put your hand under your chin and say a word, revolution. Every time your mouth moves down is a different syllable. So we can break this up into syllables here. It's basically what we are doing. Make sure all of these are connected. And what we'll do, instead of saying rev and then putting and then putting lu and putting shun in each of those, we'll just have revolution on
Revolution, la la.
revolution just on this first one. And then for this one, I'll just double click and I'll put a plus. So I'll put a plus right there. And we just have 2 right now, right? Revolution and then 1 plus.
Revola.
So we got reva. So it's expecting 2 more syllables. So again, right here, I'll do a plus. And then right here, I'll do a plus. All right, so now we've broken that up into 4 different syllables.
Revolution.
Isn't that cool? Stretch it out if you want. Maybe you want to control the vibrato or something like that. I can click on that note, come over to our note properties here, and then we have tons of different things in here. Change the way that it's pronounced. We can have the duration of the sh, the in, the sh, the ax, the in, or whatever you want. Note offsets, and here's a vibrato modulation. So I can pull that down. You'll see this update and change over here, or maybe you want more vibrato. So we get that really right, much more vibrato. So you can do that per note. You also have your pitch modes. So right now we're singing, but earlier I showed you the rap mode there. You have that there as well. Now what about, let's just delete all that. Now what about drawing out a word and changing the pitch as you're singing it? So let's just do this here real quick. Let me set something up real quick. All right, so here we have this.
I will always love you.
So we have that always broken up into 2 syllables, but I want the U to be
Love you.
ooh, maybe up and then down, right? So how do we draw that out without breaking it up into syllables? Because U is 1 syllable. So let's go U, and then maybe here, maybe. We'll have it up here. We'll just draw that out. So in this case, I'll double click in here and I'll do a minus instead of a plus, and that's going to draw that out.
Love you.
Right? And then you can have it come back maybe down here and do the same thing. Put a minus on that.
Always love you.
Isn't that pretty cool, man? And again, you have full access to things like vibrato, overall pitch, duration of Y sound, the ooh sound there that you can pull that out. We can go to the overall voice sound here. And we have different presets for vocal modes, soulful, bold, warm. And this depends on the exact vocal pack that you're using. They're all different. So if I want it to be more soulful, I can pull this slider up. You'll see all this stuff kind of update and change. We can do things like the breathiness change the gender. So in this case, if I pull it down, it's actually going to make the pitch go up.
I'll always love you.
Right, make it more breathy, increase the tension. Here's your overall tuning and pitch shifting, all kinds of stuff that you can do in here. You can see pitch transitions, the duration of the left, the duration of the right transition here. So let's pull this up and you're going to see the transitions change.
Love you.
All right. You can even change, again, the way that everything's pronounced. If you want to get into that stuff, you can do different takes. Let's do this here. What if I want like a harmony, maybe like a male singer singing along with her here. All right, so let's come up here. I'm going to right click this and say duplicate this track. I'm going to switch this one over to Hayden and make sure I have that track selected. I'm going to Control A. I'm going to come up here to modify. And in this case, I'll just shift down by an octave, but it could be a third or a fifth or whatever kind of a harmony that you want. So just that quick now, though, we should have.
I will always love you.
Right, maybe I want another variation of the female singer. So we could do that too. I could come here. Let's do this here. And we'll duplicate this track here. So that's this one right here. And we'll just leave it to copy one. But we don't want, I'll just solo just these two maybe.
I will.
So those are just duplicated. Doesn't make any sense to have those just duplicated. Let's do this. I'll select that, come over here to our AI retakes, and we can change the expressiveness here if we want. Let me grab all that stuff there. I can generate a different take, which is different variations. As you can see, they're just changing a little bit, right? Okay. Expressiveness, enhancement. I can go through them real quick here and just listen to how they sound.
I will always love you.
Maybe I want take one. Maybe it's a little different.
I will always love you.
All right, you can do individual note offsets and things just to make them slightly different and variable from the original. Again, I'm not going to take too much time to do this, but we can do that. So now.
I will always love you.
Right. You saw how fast that was to do. And of course, we bring Hayden, our male vocal, into that as well.
I will always.
Of course, I can adjust my overall volume here.
Always love you.
Isn't that cool, man? And it's not just English either. It's also, you can change the words. You can do Japanese, Chinese, stuff like that. So language default right now is on English, but I could change it to, Japanese or something like that. This is just going to basically change the pronunciation. It's not changing the words. Okay, we can actually do full Japanese, which, you know what, let's do this. Let's do some full Japanese here. But before we get to the full Japanese, I want to show you something else here. Another way that you could import something and change it into MIDI. So right here, let me just double click this. This is a vocal.
Can erase the pain.
Okay. So just a straight up vocal. I'm going to grab it and throw it into Synthesizer V. So we can play that back, of course. It's going to sound like an audio file, right? But we can do something really cool with this. I can now right click this and choose extract notes from audio. I can then, round the pitch to near semitone, the phonetic lyric transcription, and transfer the pitch onto converted notes. So we'll say okay, and just wait a few seconds while this processes. And there we go. So I can mute that original vocal. Now we have, so of course I need to make sure I set a voice to that. We'll put Natalie on there.
Can erase the pain.
Now this is not the exact words.
Do you think that this is some kind of game?
Right. It's just a phonetic translation. So you still have to go in here and change the words to the exact words. But that's a pretty cool way that you could also fill in your MIDI.
Can erase the
by just using an audio file. And then of course, what you can do is what we've already done. Just say, grab everything, maybe modify this here, shift everything down by an octave, change the voice to a male voice.
And erase the pain.
And just like that, we have a male vocal.
Do you think
I could even bring in the,
this is some kind of game?
I could bring in the original if I wanted to. Turn it down a bit.
Oh, I'm here to stay,
Isn't that cool?
but you
So as you can see, there's a ton of stuff you can do with Synthesizer V. Let me drag in this audio file here. But then I can right click here, do the same thing, extract notes from audio. I'm just going to leave this on auto for now. Okay, I play back. I don't really get anything yet here. That's because I need to change this to Japanese, and then we should get... There we go.
憧れも楽な気のままを焼けて消える
And then again, I can even drag in audio files. So let me just drag in another audio file in here, a backing track. So as I'm working on your lyrics, you can also work with the music, right? All right.
これがいいのこれでいいのふてくされてる鏡に
So maybe I want that more bold, change the loudness, tension. Maybe I want it to be a little bit higher, and then I'll tone shift it up here.
鏡に何度も問いかけたな気が日も
Pretty cool, right?
くじかそうな日もなりかえよは光を浴び中夢というつぼみは開かないから愛揺れぎが走り出そう鳥磯に刺すだと渦むからい
Okay, and again, if you want to change this to a male vocal really quickly, we can always move that down by an octave. And I can change this to Hayden there, and that should.
愛しさは絶対もっとシャイに一部次第突っ込めみ
Right, isn't that cool? You can just do that so quickly there. Let me move that back up. Change this back over to Natalie there. Turn it down. But of course, you can always drag your notes around and adjust. Again, if you have a lyric that you or a vocal file that you want to drag in, extract the lyrics from it, you can always basically remix, remix a vocal and then spit it back out. Or again, send a file to a singer and say, no, I want you to sing it like this after you've made all of your adjustments. So it's pretty cool that you can do all of that. Let me get rid of all this here. So another thing that you can do in the standalone version of Synthesizer V, if you're not able to use it in a DAW and you can't, play back your music, whatever, and you want to be able to work with your music in this standalone version as you're figuring out your lyrics, no problem. You can just drag music directly into it, as we've already shown. Great, and then you can start either dragging in, drawing in your start dragging in or drawing in all of your different notes. Or something that I like to do is use the record function here in the standalone version. So again, let's just find this here. Of course, it's not going to work here in the standalone version because I have my DAW open right now. Let me close this down real quick. Okay, very good. So then I can hit. That sounds like the right key. Hit record there. Go okay. Dun 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 dun. Of course, I'd go through later on and actually fix this stuff and get the timing right and everything. But that's an easy way, even in standalone. So just working on your PC, or your Mac, to go in there and then start sketching out your ideas. I got to tab that flow because I got that flow.
Yo, I got that flow.
Right. Then I'd turn that up. Of course, go in there and modify things in either by note, modify things by your voice panel, generate your AI retakes. There's so much stuff that you can do here in this program. You can even mix down. Let me close all these windows here. You can even mix this down here to tracks and export that vocal if you wish, and then pull that into your DAW and do whatever you want to with it. You know.
Yo, I got that flow.
Maybe I'll grab those, go over to my notes, in pitch mode, maybe change it to rap there.
Yo, I got that flow.
So that's different, right?
Yo, I got that flow. La,
Versus singing.
yo, I got that flow. La la, I.
Okay. Now there's much more stuff that you could do with this. I mean, one thing that you could do, let's say you have a couple of words here and you want a breath between them or something. So we'll put I, and actually for now we'll just have nothing here. I want, we'll just real quick here.
I want.
But maybe in between of this here.
I
Shuts off a bit quick, right?
I want.
Maybe you want a breath in there before they say want. You want to have like, okay, so I can just put another note in here and double click. And this time I'll do BR. That's going to mean breath. Okay.
I want.
Okay. So you got your plus, you got your minus, you got your BR. You even have things like putting a single quote in front to emphasize a word.
I want.
All right, so we're back in the DAW.
All I wanted was to be.
Let's grab all this and shift it back up to where it was and change the voice back to Natalie. Change the voice back to Natalie. All right.
But you had to go.
Now, I also have a plugin on this, by the way, so you can obviously use whatever plugins after this synth. I have spaced out on there, which is a reverb and delay. One of my absolute favorites. Love this one. It's really my go-to. Easy to use. Sounds amazing all the time.
Do me this way.
So something else you could do, if you want to get in there and manually change the pitch, you can do that. So just click this button there, and now we can come in here and we can really go, okay, let's change that to that. Now it's going to sound probably pretty bad.
But you had to go and do me this way.
But I just wanted to show you that it is indeed possible to do that if you wish. Now, another plugin that Dreamtonics makes is Vocoflex. And I already showed Vocoflex in a previous video. Let me bypass spaced out just for now. So you can use this in conjunction with Vocoflex. So just grab this, throw it right there on the track. I'm not going to go deep into Vocoflex because I already have an entire video on it. But essentially what it does is it allows you to change voices using AI, in real time. So again, I don't want to go into this too deep here, but the way you do this is I can take, here's a vocal sample. Let me just play this for you guys real quick here.
If only I could see.
Right, vocal sample. I'll grab that vocal sample. I'll just throw it right in to Vocoflex. It's going to analyze it and create basically like a mini model, AI model of that voice. So then I can play this back.
Be with you, but you had to go and
So
do
now,
me this.
so now I have sort of the characteristics of his voice. It's a little off. I'd have to pitch it because that's a female voice in Synthesizer V and it's a male voice here. So of course.
Oh, baby, why did you leave?
Right. Again, I have to sweeten that up just a little bit, but you get the idea of how that works. Let me just go to my demo preset that I have right there. I could pitch it. Well, I'll just leave it pitched about where it is. So again, if I bypass that.
All I wanted was to be with you.
Right. Or turn it on.
All I wanted
Was to be with you.
Sounds really good with this female vocal sample here. So we're totally changing that voice. Being that I only have 2 of the voice packs for Synth V, I really have unlimited voices if I have Vocoflex with that.
Do me this way.
You can pitch it up here.
Oh, baby, why did you leave?
Over to a male voice. As you can see, suggestion, the pitch is significantly off. So of course I'd have to pitch it down if I want any of these male voices here.
me alone.
Or switch between them here.
Oh, baby,
Why did you
leave?
Right, do that in real time with Vocoflex. So I just wanted to show you that as well, that you can indeed use Vocoflex with your Synthesizer V, man. All right.
All I wanted was to be with you, but you had to go and do me this way. Oh, baby, why did you leave me alone? Oh, baby, why did you leave?
Okay, folks, so that is Synthesizer V and some of the ways that you can use it. A few tips and a few tricks there. There's tons more that you can learn about this, but if you want to pick it up for yourself, head right over here to dreamtonics.com. Of course, I'll just have the link in the description below. Real vocals, unreal speed, and convenience right over here, folks. Pick it up for yourself. New dimension of music production, accelerate your prototyping. As I said, they really have tons of different voice samples. Right here, as you can see, tons of different voice samples that you can purchase. If you want to purchase any of these packs here, plenty for you to choose from. Okay, so again, I have this link in the description below if you want to pick it up for yourself. So that is Synthesizer V from Dreamtonics. You know, your own personal singer. You know, input whatever lyrics you want, input whatever notes you want. You know, make it say whatever you want, make it sing whatever you want. Even do rap. Tons of different voice models to pick from. I only have 2 here, but as I showed, tons of different ones that you can choose from. Use it to prototype, use it for real music, use it for whatever you want. It's really cool synth. Again, Synthesizer V Studio Pro, your personal vocal studio right on your computer. Go check it out.
振り向かない愛しさは絶対もっとシャイニー自分次第つかめ未来今すぐスタートボタン